Hello! So I'm currently in France, near to a place called Angers in the Loire Valley, and I'm going to be spending most of my day travelling across France to Wallingford's twin town of Luxeuil-les-Bains. First time going to go and visit them, find out what they're up to, and see whether we can improve the relationship we've got with our twin town. Okay, so I made it all the way across France. Two trains, an underground, and a bus. And I don't think I said any English to anyone. Stuck to French, which I was quite proud of. On the flip side, I barely said anything to anyone, so it's probably quite easy to stick to French when you don't have to say much. But we arrived in Luxeuil-les-Bains yesterday evening. Hoskins, Councillor Mark Hoskins, drove over as well. Arrived pretty similar time to me. And we've been well looked after. Try and get the names right. We had Martine, Marilyn, and Candice. They greeted us and escorted us to a classical music event. This was the final day of, I think it's a month of cultural events they've been having in Luxeuil-les-Bains. There was, Italian music, classical Italian music in the Basilica. And it was all very well done, yeah. Bit knackered this morning, but onwards, upwards. We've got a full programme of events over the next couple of days, getting to know some of the events that go on here, some of the locations that exist here, getting to meet some of the people, especially those involved with the twinning, and see if we can, get things back on again, get things moving again. So yeah, update more when I know more. Okay, so we had our second day in Luxeuil-les-Bains, and we've been seeing some of the sites. Popped to a war museum, shown around by the director of the museum. Very interesting. Then we had lunch with the deputy mayor. Then we went to a local archaeological site called Cllr, I think. Very interesting how they've utilised their history, and they've actually made a proper event around it, a proper place to go and see and to understand the history, and it's very well described. Then we had a meeting with the twinning committee from Luxeuil-les-Bains. A lot of ideas bouncing back and forth. A lot I've not got to go back now and have conversations with people to find out if there's interest in pursuing. And then after that, we had dinner with the twinning committee and got to know some of them better. So really interesting day, getting to know some of the personalities of the people involved. Again, still being really well looked after. And yeah, on to a new day. I'm repping Wallingford and Cromarsh Football Club today. Bringing a bit of Wallingford into Luxeuil. So yeah, gonna crack on to day 3. So it's our final morning. We're gonna be heading back. Bit of a trek today. Yesterday was a bit of a full-on one. Started off the day visiting a local smoked ham producer. I never really thought about what goes into making smoked ham, but it's quite a long and time-consuming process. That's what I've learned. But yeah, very interesting, even if not something I typically would have thought to go and look at. In the afternoon, thankfully the rain had cleared, and we were able to go out on a bit of a walking tour with one of the local guides, showing us around some of the old buildings. Some of them are in private use, so you can't actually go in, but we went into things like the Alderman's Tower and went up to the top end and managed to get a nice panoramic view of Luxeuil-les-Bains.
It's yes, si vraiment, oui, si vraiment par très beau temps, oui, effectivement, on peut voir le jour en tout cas.
And finding out a bit more about the history of the what's now the Basilica as well. It was an interesting couple of hours, really, just to get an idea for their history. And it's one of the things that we've really noticed as we're over here, some of the similarities between Wallingford and Luxeuil. We obviously don't have as many of our historical buildings. Our castle in particular disappeared somewhat some time ago, but theirs is a lot more preserved, and you can see quite a lot of what's there. Including their oldest house, which is now their library, and there's an arts exhibit from a local, trying to speak properly, Luxeuil-les-Bains artist from the late 1800s, which we went to see as well. Then we went to see, there's a local lace making group. There's a specific type of lace making that is made here. And again, not something I typically think to go and see, but it was very interesting. And very impressed in particular by how they managed to use lace for a model showing the arches of the church, the cloisters. I think it was the cloisters. And then into the evening, we met up with the deputy mayor, had a little chat with a local reporter for the regional paper, which again we've seen this morning. That was interesting, new experience. And then we headed out into what they call their night market. And yes, it is a market, but not quite how I think of as a market, in that they've added to it with music playing, dancing, plenty of food and drink options, and the town brings out tables and benches and encourages everyone to stay, to dwell, to socialise, as well as to spend their money with the local merchants. So that was really interesting, actually, just a different way of approaching that. And then, then we had to sleep, ready for this morning. And I think we're both a bit knackered, to be honest with you. A lot of steps, a lot of climbing, a lot of walking, and we're going to head home and then start to think about what comes next, how we move this thing forward. But it's been a really useful couple of days. I know when Didier, the deputy mayor from Luxeuil-les-Bains, reached out and he asked us what we wanted here. I asked for a flavour of the town, and I think we've definitely received that. And some, almost forgot one thing, little cheeky kind of moment. He said, we're just going to go to the balcony, get a little picture up there and the rest of it. Open the doors to get out on the balcony, and then the guy down there with the microphone suddenly announces that we're there.
Le maire de la commune de Wallingfords, le jumelage avec Luxeuil-les-Bains. Applaudissements, amis visiteurs, s'il vous plaît. Il vient de l'Angleterre. Mr. Mayor, welcome to Luxeuil.
From a British sensibility, it was kind of all very over the top, but yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, a lot of good memories, a lot of good connections we made now, and see how we can then use that to move the twinning forward, to add that fresh spark, to get things going again. Right, so I'm going to head down now. We've got a long car journey, and we'll be back in Wallingford later. Take care.